With its announcement about the use of XRP, the US Federal Reserve recently grabbed news. The possible incorporation of Ripple for payment processing has been emphasized by St. Louis Federal Reserve Branch Senior Vice President David Andalfo. In particular, it has been highlighted that Ripple depends on XRP to act as a facilitator for these transactions. In direct quotation from David Antifoli, the Fed may delegate settlement obligations to a third party, like Ripple. If this development comes to pass, XRP's value is expected to rise significantly, possibly hitting $10,000. It's also critical to remember that the Federal Reserve's action is not unexpected. The Federal Reserve acknowledged the potential role of XRP and XLM in improving the blockchain component of their FedNow payment service in an official announcement a few weeks, or maybe a month ago. The focus is on Ripple, which is well known for its creative cross-border payment solutions and open-source financial transaction technology. The FedNow Payment Services incorporation of Ripple's technology is expected to play a significant role in propelling XRP's value to previously unheard of heights. Greetings from the HelpCoin family, your go-to resource for anything XRP related. Before we get started, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to become a member of our community. Additionally, after we reach 8,000 members, we will launch an incredible XRP giveaway. 3 straightforward actions make it easy to put your hat in the ring. Thus, be sure to complete all of it. To guarantee your place, use the hashtag HelpCoin in the comments. Let's get right to today's subject we're concentrating on. The Federal Reserve and Ripple's partnership was formally announced on the Federal Reserve website, government website. Ripple is recognized as a major actor in collaboration with the Federal Reserve for payment solutions in the first portion of the paper, the U.S. Path to Faster Payments, the Faster Payment Task Force approach. The capacity of Ripple to enable real-time international payments, which typically take 2 to 4 days with little tracking and pricing transparency, is particularly highlighted in the paper. Ripple transforms this by providing quick settlement and full visibility into fees and payment status. Next, we learn that the Federal Reserve and Ripple have extended their cooperation to incorporate domestic payments. Viewers can pause and read the copious documentation that supports this. A key passage in the paper highlights how central banks such as the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority have partnered with Ripple to improve their domestic payment systems. The report's discussion of Ripple Labs' innovation at the core level of payment processing, with an emphasis on providing a free real-time settlement infrastructure internationally, is another intriguing feature. It shows that the decentralized peer-to-peer network of Ripple, the Federal Reserve intends to establish and execute the settlement framework, which will replace the current fund transfer methods. Looking back, this development had early warning signs. The Ripple logo was prominently displayed during a Federal Reserve piece on Fox News regarding investigating a digital U.S. currency almost a year ago. In addition, organizations like as the Federal Reserve Board, the International Monetary Fund, the Bank of International Settlements, BIS, and the IMF have indicated their interest in Ripple's technology by adding it to their list of working in the shadows partners. Exploring the fascinating world in greater detail of international finance, it becomes clear that a sizable amount of the world's wealth is managed by the Bank of International Settlements, or BIS. It is noteworthy that Ripple has entered this field. Jess Chan, senior lawyer of the Frederickshire Board of Governors, is quoted in a statement from the Department of the Interior. According to reports, Jess, a former deputy general counsel of Ripple, is leading this effort. This is simply the tip of the iceberg for those who are interested in the finer points. There is much to explore, and it's all really connected. Many of you may be surprised by what I'm going to disclose. The Federal Reserve recently warned that rising interest rates and pressure on real estate could cause bank losses. It's interesting to note that they have been talking about this with a number of partners since early March. Furthermore, it appears that XRP will be adopted by BRICS in the EU. The European Union has even stated that the XRP ledger will be used to manage wealth transfers and serve as the basis for the new digital euro. Numerous reports back up this assertion, indicating an impending increase in the value of XRP. According to a top expert, there will be a quick spike to $500. 50 with the potential to rise to $10,000 as it becomes more popular worldwide. Arthur Bridto, a co-founder of Ripple, is credited with this revelation. As we watch the video, it becomes evident that the story of XRP is changing quickly and transcending the SEC versus Ripple controversy. We are currently witnessing the BRICS countries firmly choose to work with Ripple to create their central bank digital currency on the XRP ledger. According to breaking news, this brick-and-mortar central bank digital currency will have a big worldwide impact. Financial tool, and each of the BRICS countries has proof of Ripple's vast network, which we will examine in more depth. Let's begin in Brazil, where a revolutionary change has taken place. Brazil has introduced a groundbreaking cryptocurrency on-demand liquidity service in collaboration with Ripple. The financial technology landscape in the nation has advanced significantly as a result of this project. We then focus on Russia. Numerous documents demonstrate President Putin's deliberate decision to diversify away from the USD and the petro money. There has been a noticeable shift in favor of Ripple Labs following SWIFT's decision to bar Russia from its payment system. Creating a Russian central bank digital currency CBD on the XRP ledger is the aim. In addition to overturning the SWIFT prohibition, this action makes use of the XRP ledger's decentralized structure to guarantee Russia's continued involvement in international banking. Turning our attention to India, we discover that Ripple is leading yet another noteworthy project that is driving the country's ambitious digital rupee drive. This project marks a significant advancement in India's pursuit of a comprehensive global. Ripple Labs technology supports CBDC. However, the tale doesn't stop there. China has also joined the fray, working with Ripple to gain traction in the field of digital currencies issued by central banks. This collaboration represents Ripple's growing clout in the world of finance. The story is the same in Africa. The increasing significance of CBDCs on the XRP ledger throughout the continent is highlighted in the 2022 African Blockchain Study. According to the research, South Africa and more than a dozen other African nations have embraced XRP and Ripple for their systems for processing payments. The ledger's growing significance in Africa's financial ecosystem is demonstrated by its broad adoption. Lastly, XRP was listed as a top digital asset for payment services in a recent BRICS report. This BRICS support solidifies XRP's standing as a major force in the digital currency space. Predictions for XRP's price have increased in response to recent events, with certain very noteworthy predictions grabbing our interest when top financial analysts openly foresee an $500 for XRP. 50, it always leads to a thorough investigation. Our research brought us to a fascinating source, ChatGPT, a well-known AI bot. 4 cryptocurrencies: XRP, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano were singled out by this AI as having the potential to grow by an astounding 100,000% by 2024. Given the viewpoint of Arthur Britto, one of Ripple's co-founders, such a price point for XRP shouldn't be shocking. He sees XRP hitting $10,000, which he thinks was the exact amount it was intended to reach. Britto further highlights XRP's scalability, which can meet the predicted 7 billion people's financial needs worldwide. 5 billion. What does 500 mean in this situation then? Ultimately, $1,500 is really a first step toward the actual potential value of XRP. However, worldwide scalability and significant financial throughput via the XRP ledger are necessary to reach this enormous price of $10,000, which is the stated aim for XRP. 21 nations have formally decided to abandon the US dollar, further solidifying this trend, with virtual institutions becoming more working together with AI to create CBDCs on the XRP ledger. This change indicates that central banks are increasingly collaborating with Ripple and, more significantly, incorporating the XRP ledger into their daily operations. The latest move by Dubai Central Bank, which only 3 days ago completely approved XRP for use, is evidence of this trend. Dubai's action is just one more example of how XRP is becoming more widely used and accepted worldwide. Please keep in mind that I am not a certified financial advisor. These videos only include content that is meant to be entertaining. Before